Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hello, welcome back, Mr. Lady Ada.
Yes,
I'm back. April 22nd, and we're live in the southwest corner of the Adafruit factory, where it's so sunny I'm having to squint a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, so sunny.
Yeah.
And
it's nice outside.
Very nice outside, and we're going to talk to you about some It's Nice Outside wearable electronics. What's on today's show, Phil?
I'm glad you asked. I've been gone for so long, but I'm not going to forget something.
It just changes every week.
Every week we have Wearable Wednesday.
It's true. Today's project is some flowers for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's nice. Component of the week.
Everybody's favorite AA battery holder. I'm going to tell you why I like it.
All right. Project workshop.
We take your project ideas and we give you advice about parts and tutorials that will help you build your project.
And questions and answers. You got questions, Becky has answers.
If you have questions about wearable electronics, you can post them in the comments now, in the comments later, in the comments on the blog, on Google+, on Twitter, on other YouTube videos, and in the forums. And I will grab them and put them together and put them in my sticky burn hat. And later in the show, we will have a giveaway. And one of you will win a Flora book.
That's great.
That's like the next show. So like you ask now and I answer those questions.
That's right.
Next show.
Yeah. Start thinking of your questions now and maybe we'll answer them in a future show.
Right. Also project workshop.
All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Oh, well, that's how it goes. How are you enjoying your spring? You've been gone for 2 weeks.
Well,
You're really gone.
I was actually
just over there.
I was actually just standing behind there watching before.
Right. I know.
Quietly.
Shh, they don't know that.
Judging.
They saw you one time.
Judging. It was a little uncomfortable. Sorry about that.
That's what the viewers at home do, though, right?
Yeah. I was the studio audience. And everything's good. We're just trying to have more people on the shows, so more folks at Adafruit who are amazing can get in front of the camera and folks can get to know them. And then also, Adafruit is going through another big round of growth. So a couple big things that are coming up. We're getting more space in our factory. We just expanded our current space. That's why we're over here. And there's just been a lot of stuff going on, so I had to make sure I took care of that.
That's awesome.
Keep the trains running,
it's
as
good.
they say.
Yeah, Phil's taking all the big meetings, important calls.
Yeah, I'm the only one who was willing to wake up at 4 in the morning. That's actually what it is.
Yeah.
The other day, the toilet clogged, and I unplunged the toilet.
Did you really?
Yeah, and then
Phil does it all, guys.
And then I did the wiring a couple weekends ago, and I'm doing some drywall work this weekend.
I put some more forks in the kitchen today.
Yeah, you took care of the fork problem. Anyways, hey,
that's what's going on here at Adafruit.
Look, this is what it's like to run a company. I don't know what do you wanted to hear. My assistant did it before. I don't know why I'd be smoking, but my assistant.
Because you're too busy. You're too busy smoking. You need your assistant to. Yeah. Anyway, we all make it happen here.
Okay.
Let's jump right into.
Wait.
Let's pay the bills for all the new space.
So I can buy some more plungers.
Yeah.
We have 3 now. Bouquet is the code.
Bouquet.
Yeah.
You can get 10% off your whole order of wearables parts, excluding EagleCAD software and gift certificates, but everything else. Yeah. So let's jump right into Wearable Wednesday, yeah?
Yeah. Every Wednesday, the best collection of wearable electronic projects online. What did you put up this week?
Okay, so Jess and Leslie and I are the main Wearable Wednesday bloggers. Jess and Leslie both found this project, actually. This is an MIT video of a thumbnail mounted trackpad, so tiny little circuit that you wear on your thumbnail and you can use it to control an interface. And they have this video is longer than this. This is just a clip of it. Them talking about it and explaining how it works and the potential applications, like swiping through recipe steps while you're cooking or other hands-free sort of thing. And I know that I sit here and touch my thumbnail a lot, so I know that I could use this interface.
Are you this is useless real estate? This should be the new Apple Nail?
Not Apple Nail. Come on.
There's
Phil.
Apple Watch and there's Apple Nail. Because when you're because you're man, I don't feel like doing this. I just want to do this.
I just want to do this. I don't want to do this.
I just want to get a Yelp alert on my thumb.
There's so many. How many new injuries, repetitive strain injuries, are people going to get from Tinder use with their thumbnail trackpad? Anyway,
that one's too easy to joke about. Okay.
Too soon for that, but that's a cool thing you can learn more about on the blog. Next up, Barbara Eldridge has a new project. It's super cool. It is a Wi-Fi Flora hoodie that tells you the weather forecast.
That's good.
So in addition to having those services that will automatically email you or pop up on your phone with the weather,
you could get an email. You could use a web browser. You can use your phone, your watch, your new Apple Nail, or your
hoodie.
Your hoodie.
And she used NeoPixels and the CC3000 and the Flora to like ping, the Wi-Fi goes through the phone, tethers to the phone, and then pings a web page that gives the forecast, and then the lights light up, like more of them blue when there's more rain likely.
That's nice.
And she documented her whole process on the Element 14 wearable tech community, and it's really detailed and awesome, and there's code, and there's pictures. And
she's great. This is a great video.
Yeah, it's a very good video. You should watch it. I didn't want to just show it all to you. I did think about it, though. If Barbara's watching, I did think about playing the whole video.
Okay. Maybe next time.
It's 4 minutes long. Next is, these are First Robotics. A First Robotics team built these proximity sensing, syncing patterned helmets.
Right.
They have NeoPixels,
They look like little buttons I want to press, but they're helmets.
They're helmets.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Learn more about those on the blog. And these are a pair of laser cut. Leslie posted up these laser cut plastic with the 144 NeoPixel density strip, and applied to a regular pair of safety glasses. So you can see through the slits, and since they're kind of far away from your face, you can see through them really easily, even if your face is a different size than the original wearer. And they have different patterns, and you can learn more about those on the blog too.
I like that. That's a nice project.
Cool. Yesterday, there was this really fun SparkFun Live broadcast about prom, and they're having a prom contest. So if you have an electronics...
They have like a trailer video?
Yep, they have a trailer video and a cool live broadcast with some great, really big collection of fun prom projects that you can do with electronics. It's super fun, and you can watch that whole broadcast on their YouTube. I put a blog post up about it. And then these are some of Angela Sheehan's creations.
Yeah.
That's a microview tie.
At the end of the video of the trailer to have this prom thing, the male character who's Sean Heimel, he didn't have his bow tie, and I watched the SparkFun videos. Obviously, I watched every single one of them. And
I have the email alerts.
Yeah, I have so I watched them. And so his thing is bow ties, and so they had an in case of emergency bow tie at the end. Yeah, it was kind of
good. And it was this bow tie.
Yeah,
this microview bow tie with it, and then with the conductive fabric on the end, so when you touch it, it changes really cool. And then these shoes with pixel changing stuff and like flower. They did a flower thing too. And
good project.
There's a big roundup of tutorials that you might want to, including EL wire and fiber optics, on their site for things you might want to try for prom. And they're having a contest. So if you have a cool wearable electronics prom project, you could enter to win. I think they're giving away a DJI Phantom drone or like $500 gift certificate. So we're not doing a prom contest, so I would encourage you to enter theirs.
Yeah. No, we're not doing one.
And I love Angela. Angela and I met at Maker Faire a long time ago, and I'm really happy that she's doing wearables projects at SparkFun. So, yay!
I grew up in Florida. All the really cool people. There was prom at Disneyland.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Doesn't Disneyland do like Goth Day or something?
Yeah, I want to go to that one. I think I'd
or Disney World. Disney World is in Florida.
Yeah.
Disneyland is in California.
All right, next up. Dun, da, da, da. Says you have to do that when something spins, apparently.
Ooh,
it's in my contract.
Watch it spin.
Yeah.
It's just gonna spin. We're gonna leave this up spinning while we talk about all of the Gemma things. So this is the Adafruit,
mesmerizing.
the Arduino Gemma, the official Arduino version of the Gemma, which has that lovely micro USB port and on-off switch that everybody wanted, and that we wanted, and it's great. And so this is almost ready. The product page for the Arduino Gemma is live.
Done.
The hardware is here.
It's sitting on the shelves.
In boxes and almost ready to ship to you. So you can sign up on the product page, and you'll be notified when you can buy it. So and then hopefully you'll get one before they sell out.
What we're waiting for right now is Arduino has to update the IDE. So when you plug in the Arduino Gemma, it says, "Hey, how's it going? You're an Arduino Gemma. I know you."
Yeah.
So that's the thing we're waiting for.
Yeah, and that's almost done too. Like I've been seeing the emails, it's almost done.
Yeah, and so for the folks who ask us, because there is a interesting legal dispute with Arduino.cc and Arduino.org, they like to know what we feel about it. Well, we're working with Arduino.cc to do the Arduino Gemma,
right?
And we're an official partner that's manufacturing the Arduino Gemma, so that's how we feel.
Correct. And so we are manufacturing these here at Adafruit.
Yes, made in the USA.
Yes, on our machines.
Yes.
And so you can trust that they're, and
these are coming from us on Arduino.cc.
Correct.
Okay.
Then the other...
You had something you want to talk about.
What was it?
I know what it is.
What was
you said, Phil, what if someone has Adafruit Gemma.
Oh, the update.
What can they do?
So recently, and unrelated actually to the Adafruit, sorry, okay, so confused. Unrelated to the Arduino Gemma. Both companies start with A, and it's
boggly words.
I work at one of them. I don't work at the other one. Anyway, so the separate from the Arduino Gemma, is it Brennan who did the update, or
Todd?
Or Todd did it?
Todd did a cool proxy thing where you just put in text and it will dump all the boards that you want from Adafruit into your Arduino IDE.
Right, so that's new.
Awesome.
So up until recently, if you wanted to use Flora or Gemma, you had to use this older version of the Arduino IDE, and we would provide you the whole package for download. So you'd like replace your version of Arduino with our download of Arduino. Now you don't have to do that anymore, and we've been getting requests a lot in the forums for 1.6 support, and like 1.61 and 1.62, like we're different. Now 1.63 is easier, and so now we have the support for Gemma and Flora and Trinket using this proxy tutorial that Todd wrote.
If you can type just a couple of things, you can just do it.
You don't even have to type. You can copy and paste from our guide.
If you can use a mouse.
Yeah, if you can use a mouse, you can very easily update your Arduino 1.6.3 IDE to support Flora, Gemma, and Trinket.
The ESP stuff, MIDI stuff, you name it. It's just bam.
It's in there really fast. You don't have to download a big package from us. Anyway, that's like separate from the Arduino Gemma, which I know is confusing. But if you are wanting Flora or Gemma or Trinket support on 1.6 Arduino IDE, you've got it. Go check out Todd's tutorial on the Adafruit learning system.
Yeah. Team CC. Okay, anyways. All right.
That's cool. Hashtag that all you want.
Okay.
I'm staying out of it. I'm clearly not staying out of it, but I'm letting you deal with it.
We're making Arduinos with Arduino.cc. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's where
these words. Okay,
the
so
words.
This week's project is not Arduino related. It is using LED sequins to mod up a bouquet of false flowers for Mother's Day or prom or a good wedding centerpiece, just general fun craft project. And we have a short video. You might like it. Watch it now. like those. I hope that you make them.
You went to Michael's.
I went to the craft store, guys.
You went to
the Michael's
store.
on 6th Avenue and like 22nd Street is really cool. It's like in the basement, and so the atrium is all open. It has I don't know. It's a nice Michael's.
Yeah.
There's no fabric there though. Zero. There's zero fabric at Michael's.
Really?
Most Michael's have like a small fabric section.
Oh, because New York, and it's just like that's a lot of space.
Yeah, and like what fabric? Yeah, it's hard. What
Actually, this space we're in right here used to be fabric storage.
Yeah. Oh, but fancy fabric, upholstery fabric. Yeah. So Yeah, you can like mod this project, and depending on which battery holder you use, you can use the battery holder we're going to talk about on today's show. You can use the the 2032 battery holder, the little guy that also has a little switch on it. If you wanted to make like a corsage, a prom corsage, or like a headband, whatever headdress to wear to a music festival or something, you could use that littler battery holder. And all you do is wire like 2 LEDs in series. You can add as many pairs as you want. You wire those all up in parallel, and very simple circuit, good for beginners to try soldering, and a fun craft project. And you can make it for your mom, and then she can have these like LED flowers on her desk forever, instead of regular flowers that wilt and die and have to be put in the garbage and contribute to environmental harm.
Okay. If you wanted to buy some of the stuff that you saw to make these things, you can use the code bouquet.
Yep. You could get 10% off. Not a very expensive bill of materials for this project, but every little savings helps. You could add another pack of LEDs with that 10% off or something.
It's component of the week, Becky.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a thing we do. This is the battery holder we used in this week's project. And I just wanted to remind you guys that we have this really stellar AA battery pack. AA batteries are like the most common kind. You know, you already have some rechargeables for like your Xbox controller or whatever. And AA batteries are a really great, a battery pack like this one is a great one to attach to a project you're going to give to somebody, because AA batteries are really easy to find and replace, as opposed to like coin cells or having to recharge a lithium battery and having to give safety warnings. This one's really great, and it has an on-off switch, so if you're like the project today doesn't have a switch, it's just LEDs, you can use the on-off switch on the battery holder as your on-off switch, or if you're using it for a Flora project and you're putting the Flora inside something and you don't want to access the on-off switch, you can use the one on the battery. I use this battery pack for a lot of things. This one and the 3 AAA. So like that one's 4.5, this one's 6 volts. Those are the 2 I use most often in terms of alkaline battery packs. And yeah, here it is hooked up to the flowers. So you can get 10% off that battery holder.
Yeah, I feel like that. Use the code bouquet. You know it by now, but boy, typing in is a lot of fun too.
I think from now on, I would like to only have code. The word for the code should only be 7-letter Scrabble words.
Ooh, okay.
Right? Well, it's just 7. I guess there'd just be any 7-letter word.
Okay.
Maybe only words I have used in Words with Friends.
Yeah. Then that'll help you, because then you can use it. Okay, all right.
Or it can help me gloat when I lose Words with Friends almost every single time I play with anybody.
Scrabble should come up with their own version of Twitter, where you can only say things with the letters they give you. Screw off. You can only use these letters to complain about your airline flight.
That sounds pretty fun, actually.
All right. Ideas galore here today.
Okay,
speaking of...
Project Workshop is a segment where we take your project questions, and we elaborate on suggestions for parts and tutorials that might help you build your project. So if you have a project idea that you need help with, let us know in the comments somewhere on the forum, and we can work on it for you, help you out.
This person says, I want 2 gemmas to communicate with each other. Could I use a single pin from one gemma as an output and directly connect the other input pin of the other gemma? Would that work? Is there a better alternative? I was thinking of interchangeable light-up clothes, shirts and pants. Each one would have its own gemma for the pattern on the piece of clothing, and you would connect them so they know when to sequence each other, and LED patterns would sync up or follow depending on design. That's a neat idea.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah. And you could use an Arduino Gemma, or you can use an Adafruit Gemma.
You could use one of each.
You could use, maybe they could talk to each other.
They're
the same.
They're the same, except they have a different color PCB and a different
Well, how would
box.
you do this? Workshop this up.
Yeah, we'll workshop this project up. So, as you know, Gemma doesn't have serial communication as one of its main tools, and we do have this tutorial about setting up serial debugging with Gemma using a custom cable and a software serial port in Arduino.
Okay.
You can do that, and so if you wanted the 2 gemmas to communicate to each other over serial, you could set up a software serial port on each gemma, but then you wouldn't be able to do much else except for control a couple of neopixels. So it's not the best idea. However, I think what you might want is 2 of these 315 megahertz. I always want to say Wi-Fi. It's not Wi-Fi. RF.
Yeah, well, RF
module. So we have a couple different remotes and a couple different behaviors of receiver modules, but they're all on the same frequency. So if you put one of these little modules on each of your circuits, they just transmit like highs and lows to the pins. So you could have a digital input on your Gemma receiving a digital input from this RF module, and you could have an RF module on each Gemma, one on your shirt and one on your pants, and then when you press the button on the key fob, both of them would get the same digital signal at the same time.
Reminds me a little bit when we did that bike bag.
We used that for the bike the bike bag.
All right, and then you have
a cheaper option would just be to use a tactile on-off switch and wire it to both digital inputs. So instead of having one Gemma send a message to the other Gemma, which takes time and energy and memory space, you could just have both Gemmas looking for digital input and hook the switch up to both Gemmas. So if you just put longer wires on your switch, and then you could connect them. The next slide is with the snaps. So you could connect the switch with snaps, solder it onto one half of the snap, and then have the other half of the snap sewn to the garment and to the Gemma. So you can just like put on your shirt and your pants, snap your switch onto it, and then when you click your switch, both of them would react to the digital input. But the wireless way to do that is with those RF modules. So maybe try it with the switch, then there's no code change to upgrade to the wireless modules since they just send highs and lows. So
you totally workshopped that.
That's a cool project idea. If you make it, please let us know. Post it up in the forums or contact us. And
I think this person shows up on our show and tell. So if you make that, show up on the show and tell.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
And I hope that is helpful. If you have more questions, you can ask them in the comments. And if you want to get some of those things, you could get 10% off the parts for your project with code BOUQUET.
It pays the bills here. Okay, questions and answers. You have questions? Becky's going to answer them now. This one is from David. Awesome that the Arduino Gemma will work out of the box with the Arduino IDE, and hooray for US manufacturing. Is it possible that unofficially the non-Arduino Gemma I bought will also work out of the box when it's released? Oh, what a good question you asked.
Yes.
We talked about that before. So here is the Arduino Gemma, which will show up in the IDE. And here's the Adafruit Gemma that you can easily, by cutting and pasting, or maybe just like a click or two, or like a little tap, 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 it adds it in too. So yes.
But to answer your question, yes, there's not going to be anything different about the program on the chips that's going to prevent the Adafruit Black Gemma 2
just be able to just add it.
From behaving just like the Arduino Gemma when you plug it into the IDE.
It's a naming difference.
Yeah, so yes, cool. Okay. All Gemmas will be. Hopefully we can get Flora in there. I know it's all very political. I would really like it if Flora were in the IDE. It would make my life easier.
Look, man.
I know. There's a lot of factors, okay, guys? Please ask me my favorite question. Read me my favorite question.
Hey, Becky, do you want to go get oysters and drinks?
That's my favorite question.
Oh, sorry, this one.
That's my favorite. I was being facetious about this being my favorite question.
You're lucky I didn't think it was something else messed up. Okay. Hey, I wonder how many neopixels I would be able to connect with conductor thread. Please, thank you. A lot. It
depends is the answer. If you look at the conductor thread product page, you scroll to the bottom, you'll see all of the guides, the tutorials that feature the conductive thread, and then you can click on them and see how many neopixels are in each of them. For beginners, I would recommend anywhere from 1 to 16. And then if you're feeling ambitious, you can go to the next slide. You can hook up more than that using multiple strands of conductive thread together. Or you can upgrade to silicone-coated wire, but it depends on you being able to power it. So both the fiber being able to deliver the current with its physical characteristics and resistance over distance, and also having an adequate battery or wall supply to provide the power to those neopixels. So there's no hard and fast answer to your question because it depends.
All right. Well, we'll get to this question again in a couple weeks. Okay, next up, this is from Brandon Buddy. How does the net tracker react when you throw the ball but only hit the net and not the ring? So this is your video from last week. How does it react when you hit
only hit the net. Oh, I misinterpreted your question up until now.
But this guy answered.
It's a different... it's a different answer. Anyway, so what this guy, Keith Ward, thank you very much for responding to this commenter in the comments, said was that the sensor is mounted on the net. It'll dampen most of the shock. So if you hit the ball hits the rim but doesn't go through the net, that the graph of it hitting the actual sensor. It shows a much higher spike than it hitting the rim. But now that I listened to you ask the question and I wasn't just reading it in my head, he's asking something else. He's asking, how does the net tracker react when you throw the ball and hit the net but not the ring?
Yeah.
Like if you hit it and instead of bouncing off the ring, it just like whacks the net.
Yeah, or maybe swooshes. Or no, is there a sensor that...
The sensor's on the net, but what happens if you get the if you hit it from the side instead of? And I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know. Probably you got to practice more so you can actually make a basket.
Right, but will it false report? I don't know if it'll false report a basket if you I doubt it, but because it's looking for. Actually, no, I don't know.
And if it does false report it and you think you're doing good, you know you're not, and you should practice more.
You get a free point is what would happen in your training stats. The worst case is you would get a free point in your training.
Yeah.
But thank you, Keith, for answering the question that we both thought was asked.
Yeah.
And I've entered you in the giveaway as well for providing such a thoughtful answer, so thank you.
All right, so it's time to give away a Getting Started with Adafruit Flora
book. All question askers, and in this case also one question answerer, have been entered into the giveaway.
Give away this book.
I put your names in my sticky burn hat, and I will pull one of them out for.
This book wants to be given away.
And Keith, our question answerer.
Oh, that's
Keith
awesome.
Ward, you won a copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by me and Tyler Cooper. If you would like, you can email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize, and I will also reach out to you on YouTube. Thank you for being such a conscientious YouTube commenter. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
We have a lot of YouTube commenters, and most of you are really, really great, and a lot better than YouTube communities I have witnessed with my eyeballs.
We also delete and ban jerks.
That's part of it. Deleting and banning jerks
it's
really.
Like weeding. It's like weeding in the garden.
Yes, and if you delete and ban jerks quickly, then they don't ruin your beautiful vegetable garden.
They go to other places where there's great things for them.
A weed garden.
There's weed places.
There's other weeds that they can play with.
Complainy patches. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I watched this really sad documentary today about on Vice about the Cabbage Patch dolls.
Dude, the Xavier thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I saw that.
God.
Martha, poor Martha.
It made me so
I know.
sad.
And did you see the cute little photos of her? And this guy just took it. I mean, like, I'm just judging it based on what I saw, but this guy was awful.
And he was talking about how he was a soft sculptor when it was Martha who was the soft sculptor.
And he was buying the dolls.
That would never happen if the internet had been around back then.
He was buying the dolls, and she's like, "Hey, I really don't want to sell you anymore." Like, he
was charging too much for that.
Yeah,
he
you're
was
charging
like
too much.
Overcharging.
And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna make these dolls, and they're mine now." I remember when that hit. I was a little kid.
I liked Cabbage Patch dolls when I was a kid, and now
it was such a big deal.
This Vice documentary that I watched over breakfast this morning ruined Cabbage Patch dolls for me.
Well, there's an undisclosed settlement that happened, because this is how all things go, and it was very clear that she made these. She invented them.
Right.
And so something was resolved, but this is the first time I've seen this story come out. And what's funny is that Xavier and/or the group of people who own Cabbage Patch Kids didn't like the Garbage Pail Kids.
Right. I'll show you.
Anyways, everybody should watch it on Vice. Very interesting, because it was a time before the internet. If there was an Etsy or an Instructables or a Make or a Craft or an Adafruit, it would have been very clear who made these things.
It was also before the copyright regulation about like prior art, and like you had to put copyright on it in order to claim your copyright, and so like
what a weird thing, but what a cool story. I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I watched it while I ate my breakfast this morning. It was really cool, but also sad.
Okay, well,
if you want to support
retail therapy, buy something.
Yeah, if you're sad about, I know, I already did that. I got a new camera.
Okay,
hello.
that's nice.
It made me feel really good about myself.
Okay.
You can buy things if you're looking to feel. No, don't buy things to feel good about yourself.
You should.
Do as I say, not as I do sometimes.
It feels great to buy something.
Gadgets, just something about gadgets. Something about having my first zoom lens in my life. I have a zoom lens back in my life.
Cameras are great because they also, the purchase doesn't end. It keeps giving you.
And I feel that way about electronics too. So if you buy components and parts, you're going to build a cool project with them. You're not just buying stuff to...
And you share your photos online, so I feel like everyone can participate in your camera purchase.
That's true. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Phil, for making me feel okay about my impulsive... It's actually not that impulsive, just reckless gadget purchasing.
You live in New York and around amazing things. You should have 5 cameras. You should get a camera.
What it is I've really been liking taking photos with my phone, but the screen is too big, and like I'm gonna drop it into a sewer grate or like.
You have a Samsung Galaxy, so you have to hold it up like this.
It's great, but it's like.
And it's like a.
But it's very precious, and it's very like
it's a lunch tray.
It's a slippery lunch tray, a slippery Pop-Tart, and like the camera is anyway.
Okay. Well, we've got 2 things going on tonight.
Yeah, if you have a project that you would like to share, the show and tell is the place to do that. It's at 7:30 on Wednesdays, Eastern Time. If you would like to join, go to the Google Plus page for Adafruit and comment on the post about the show and tell, and we'll add you to the circle, and then you'll get invited to the hangout this week and every week going forward. It's confusing. Do not comment on the YouTube video of the show and tell, the Google Plus event. And
you can if you want, but it does nothing.
It
does nothing.
Well, we don't look there. So anyway, that's a fun place for hanging out with other Adafruit folks and showing off your cool project. And that's how we hire a lot of people to write projects for us too, is people who show up on the show and tell. Then after that is Ask an Engineer at 8 o'clock and with Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada. And then tomorrow is 3D Hangouts with Noe and Pedro, all about 3D printing and enclosures and cosplay and materials and.
Yep. Okay, that's it. That's our show.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week with more wearable electronics.
Am I on the show next week?
I don't know. Do you want to be on the show next week? Maybe Colin will be on the show next week. We haven't decided yet.
You guys let me know.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Have a nice week, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Boom.